Yay.
Hello, gamers. How are you doing today? I hope you are doing good. Zinni, hello. Nerdy, hello. Luna, thank you for the 9 months. Thrasher, hello. How are you doing today? Hello, 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 hello. I'm excited. I'm excited. You know, I kind of thought about it after I said, oh, I'm going to stream today. I'm going to talk about episode 3. I feel like I haven't really talked about episode 1 or 2 either. So We've been friends for over a year. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, that's insane. So I thought about it. Chat, would you like a deep dive of every episode up to episode 3, taking about an hour each? Because I got 4 hours before I have a work meeting. Would you guys like to use that time to deep dive over all the episodes I've put out so far? I already definitely don't know a lot of this info already. Actually, Luna, you don't know as much as you think you do. I'm not going to give away everything, but I kind of want to explain a few tidbits that are placed in the episodes, if you guys would like, because I really want to dive into my own writing and the improv and everything that's been going on in these episodes, and I'm very, very excited to do so. So I'm like, I may just bring chat along because I can. This is my stream after all. I forgot my display capture was on. But yes, I thought that would be rather fun. I'm editing while watching. Honestly, valid. I feel like I should definitely be here for this. So, chat, I guess my question is, do you want me to start with episode 1 or do you want to chat about episode 3 first? Because I'm going to be pulling up the episodes. I will pull up the episodes. I'm going to fast forward and rewind and everything throughout them to show you a few tidbits. Start with episode 1? Okay, we can do that. We can absolutely do that. And look at that, it's already connected. Let's go. Okay. I'm gonna pause the music. And it's time for a breakdown. Firstly, chat. I'm gonna turn it down because you don't have to hear it as much. These words, this little paragraph, I'm gonna read it out for you because I know it's a bit hard to read. I could not figure out a good text color that was neutral while still being visible. So I have many breakdowns. And Nixie DM'd me with a theory based on this opening. Yeah, this opening. Hi, Bloss. Oh my gosh, I haven't seen you in eternity. How are you doing? Okay. So right. This couple paragraphs, quote unquote, are actually very important to the lore. So, stories are something we use to escape reality, a reality too hard to face, but sometimes we're transported into the story without the control we wish we had. Okay, keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. I'm not going to say anything about it. This is your big hint for the lore. That is all I'm going to say about that paragraph. It is very important. I put it there for a reason. I'm doing okay-ish. I've been very busy lost with school. I am vibing. I have been working 2 jobs. I am doing video editing. I'm doing recording. I'm doing a lot. A lot. And I think the world is trying to shove me in a certain direction. I don't know how to feel about it. Anywho, okay. So, do you keep in mind, how do you function? I don't know. I wish I could answer that question. I truly do not know. Like, I genuinely can't answer that question. This animation, if you watch my trailer is also let me actually see if I can pull it up for you guys. My rain trailer for my character. I should have it somewhere. I don't know where it is. My character trailer has a couple hints in it as well to what is happening, but the trailer does go along with the timeline. Does Tiv have a Twitch is a good question. Hehe. Tiv does. Tiv just doesn't stream or really actively be on Twitch. But yes, Tiv did the amazing with this animation. I planned this animation back in the early summer, chat. this animation has been in progress for a long time before episode 1 was released. So, yes. So this does actively follow the storyline. This is actively after the trailer, Rain's trailer, takes place right before episode 1. To know what happens in the trailer, basically Rain is chatting with herself while training, and then she decides to go ahead and leave the town that she's been in, which you don't find out why till episode 1. You find out that Rain left home, and that's why she was in the village, and yada yada yada. So this part of the episode, the animation, is your introduction to both Rain and Zayd's character, Azai. Azai is not a actual cast member. Azai is just kind of like, think of him as an NPC, but he plays a very large part in the story. Okay, so this was the introduction to them. I love this. I'm gonna get copyrighted for playing this, but yes. So first of all, this animation, the animation with the bow, chat. So funny story about the animation with the bow and why Rain pulls it out and it expands into an actual bow. Tiv forgot to draw in the previous scenes the bow on Rain's back, so instead came up with the concept of this. And the concept of the bow expanding with a button came from, you know, those 3D printed katana toys that you just flick and it expands? That's where the idea came from. And I was like, honestly, yes, because think about it. In Minecraft, where does the bow go when you put it away? It doesn't go on your back. It's not visible. It just goes into your inventory. So this, in a way, is accurate to Minecraft lore. Just... Oh, that's cool. I thought that was a thing because of the Minecraft inventory. It's also, that's kind of how I thought about it, honestly. But, you know. But yes, that's your introduction. And then we have the whole interaction that sets up the dynamic between Rain and Azai. When we were originally trying to consider, I'm going to give you some background of Zayd's and I's writing throughout this SMP process. When we were trying, so, okay. Little background of how we were setting up the SMP. When we were getting the cast members together and helping them develop their characters, yes, I am fully aware of everyone's lore. And honestly, the fact that I'm doing so well pretending like I don't is very shocking, and I'm very proud of myself for that. But when we were trying to get all the cast members together, we said, okay, since everyone has been living in this kingdom or within the vicinity of this kingdom, have a couple connections to other cast members, discuss those, you know, figure out where you want to go with your lore with these other cast members. So when we were trying to tie Azai into the story, we were like, okay, I've tried to keep you like slightly in the dark, but enough in the direction you're okay with. Luna's been a little bit more secretive, but there are things that I am fully aware of that Luna has planned for the future. But so originally, I did not want Rain to be the one that introduced Azai to the SMP. Because in my mind, as the SMP creator / founder, whatever you want to call me, I didn't want to make myself or Rain seem like the main character of the SMP, which as of right now seems to be how it is going, just due to how busy everyone has been and all the cast members and how little they're able to get on. I think primarily it is Luna and I that are the main active two of the SMP as of right now, because we are both creating content out of it. I know a lot of others are wanting to create content out of it, but it's taking a bit, and that is a-okay. Luna has been on a side story. We have figured out a way to tie Luna into the main storyline. And then Rain is your connection into the main storyline, basically, is how it's kind of turned out, which is not how I originally planned it nor wanted it to be. But it is what it is. But yes, so tying Azai into giving him the reason to come to the kingdom was a bit difficult, because we were trying to take into consideration who's out of the city, who's in the kingdom, who's doing this, who's doing that. You know, we had to take in a lot of like pros and cons of everything. And with the way I was writing my character lore and the way Rain was when it came to decisions that the king made, is it definitely we ended up as two main povs for the story, which hopefully can change a little bit as people's, yes, I pray. Because this SMP is ending in a few months already, which is insane to think about. Absolutely insane. But, so, right. I was writing my character lore, and I knew my characters actually shifted a good amount, which is kind of funny. I went from having one idea to having another, and now the idea has changed just based how the story has been leading up so far. My character has not gone anywhere where I planned her to go, but that is okay. That's the fun of improv, right? But yeah, so our perception is through Rain right now, so at least for me, it feels like her part is of the bigger story. She is part of the bigger story for sure. I'm definitely trying to keep her more on her own side story right now, but due to just how the story is going and interactions and everything, and how busy Zaid has been to get on and play Azai, that's just kind of how it's going right now. And you know what? I can't control that. And you know what? That is a-okay. I'm not mad. Like, I've literally chat. I'm not going to say who. I'm not going to call out names or anything, but I have gotten multiple messages from cast members apologizing to me for not being active on the server. I cannot express how much I wanted to scold them for apologizing in the first place. Because I'm like, y'all, we're all little CCs. We're all trying our best. We all have other jobs. Some of us have school. April banned us from apologizing. Yes, I did. Because I was tired of it, and we all have lives outside of this. None of us are full-time content creators like some of these SMPs are. Ay. But yeah. So, anywho, trying to tie his eye in, we decided Rain was the best connection that we could do. It doesn't feel like they are the sole MC. It just feels like when a story jumps time to see where people are at the same moment, kind of like Resident Evil Raccoon City, there are like 4 stories in the same night. Yeah, sorry, right? But yeah, so Rain, right, she left town and she's coming back, and on her travels, she runs into Zai, aka what the animation shows, along with this interaction. Rain is just trying to go home. She runs into Zai completely on accident, and she's like, what do I do with this? Because this is not what I wanted, nor what belongs in our world. And she can sense there is something wrong. So that's why she tries to shoot him, aka leading up to this moment. We are only 2 minutes into the episode. Oh my gosh. So yeah, and then this whole interaction is just Zai following Rain because he's a curious creature. Rain does not want him following her, by the way. Rain is very against being followed by this quote-unquote creature. Rain does not have positive thoughts about Azai. Now, if you listen to specifically the travel part of their part, like after this interaction ends and everything,
Nothing. All right.
So this is supposed to be background noise, basically.
To fill the air, could you imagine a home that...
Azai talking about his home and where he came from, which was your first hint of the realm that Azai resided in originally.
That's a desolate wasteland.
Oh, he's still talking. Rain is very unhappy about this. Rain does not want him talking, does not want him following her. She is a very unhappy being of, why am I being followed right now? I don't want to be followed. She has tried abandoning him, but he continued to follow her. She cannot get rid of him, and she's very upset about it. Rain does not like Azai at first. Obviously, in episode 3, that has definitely changed because of just how the story is developing. So all of this, let's know everything is very new to Azai. And then we reach this scene with Bram, or otherwise known as Night Bree. Now, originally, I wasn't sure how this interaction was gonna go. Bram and I literally sat in call the night before recording this, because we recorded first thing in the morning. But Bree, son of Briar, yes. Night Bree, son of Briar. We sat in VC for like, I want to say almost 30 minutes trying to figure out what we wanted this interaction to be. Because Bram right? Because as I said, I asked the cast members to try and have connections before the SMP started. Character Bree, was a connection to Rain. I'm not going to go into that too deep because that will hopefully be revealed later on. Bram has just been very busy, and you know what? That is a-okay. I'm hoping to plan another interaction with him soon. But we sat in VC trying to figure out what to do with this, and while the words themselves are improv, we knew that Rain would recognize Bree and try to jog his memory about it, and she kind of gives up, and it just he offers to help her, and she's like no, because she doesn't want anyone else seeing Azai. Basically, she doesn't want anyone else suspicious of who he is, because he is obviously not from this world. A little bit. So this whole interaction with Bram, like how it goes and everything, was unplanned. We just knew it had to be at night. Because of Rain mentioning, oh, we're leaving at dawn and everything, and then becomes dawn, and I'm like, oh, I should probably end this interaction because, well, she says she's leaving at dawn. He's very curious. He does not remember Rain, which Rain is very offended by at first. She's very confused. She's like, how do you not remember me? I'm because she grew up. If you have not gotten this already, I will give you this. Rain grew up in the royal court. Her father was the royal advisor to the king, right? So she grew up a little spoiled. Very noble, quote unquote. And so her not being remembered by someone she takes a little bit of offense to, because she's like, what do you mean? Small leak chat, this scene led up to an eventual interaction between me and April. I'm not saying anything more than that. It had been a year, right? Yes. It has been a year since Rain left home. So the interaction with Bram, if I remember correctly, takes place, I think timeline-wise, we said 3 months after Rain left home. So it's been about 9 months since they actually interacted. So Rain shouldn't technically be surprised, but she's still offended by it, you know? Because she's like, I remember you, because she only saw the same faces every day, while Bree, on the other hand, is out there going about, as she expresses, you go out village to village helping people, right? He sees a lot of new faces, while Rain has been stuck seeing the new faces for a full year, basically. So she has a better memory of him because he made an impression on her. I'm not going to say why, but she made an impression on her, and now she's like, what do you mean you don't remember me? You know? So that's how that interaction went. And then the Antari interaction. So, okay, a funny story. I wasn't sure how entering the kingdom was gonna work. Antari just happened to reach out to me when I was gonna start filming. Hey, can we have an interaction? Character interaction. I was like, oh, yeah, sure. You know what? This works out. So, ironically, Antari's, which is why there's a recording symbol here, because this was my very first time recording for the SMP. I recorded with Antari first, then I recorded with Kira, which takes place around here-ish, and then I recorded with Bram. These recording sessions were very out of order, and it took a bit to really meld it correctly, where it seemed like timeline-wise, it made sense. So the whole interaction with Antari, we didn't plan anything. We just knew there would be Azai, Rain, and Antari, and it's more, this was fully improv. We didn't know how long or short it was going to be. But it was fully improv, and I feel like I should have music going since I have music going for you guys. Since we weren't really sure what would happen with this interaction or anything, and Rain's just fed up. She's like, I just want to go home, you know, and that's why she ends up walking away. And she leaves Azai, right? And she debates. She's like, do I really want to do this? Do I want to go see my family? You know, and then she ends up being like, oh my god, where did Azai go? Which is where this moment came in. This moment, I was trying so hard not to laugh in the midst of recording because it was kind of ironic. You know, I'm gonna pause the music again because I just, I love this moment so much. Right? Rain's stressed. She's like, where did Azai go? You know, he's gonna do damage to my home. And I was able
Where
to
did
see
he
him
go?
from a distance. I saw that he was over here somewhere. I didn't know where he actually went. What are you doing?
Oh, there you are.
Oh, of course you were looking for me. Never mind. Rain hears that as I was actually searching for her, and she's like, oh, nope, never mind. I don't want to do this right now. I just wanted to make sure you weren't getting into trouble. Right? And then this happens.
Did you just come looking for me?
No,
You so did.
I did not. I love that moment so much. That was, it just happened to be how it turned out, honestly. We thought it would be funny, and getting that music, oh my gosh, finding the music for that moment was so difficult. That music is even the full track. I just broke down a certain instruments to make it not as overwhelming, but still get across the point of this is a bit of a lighthearted moment between all the angst. Because there's a lot of angst in this SMP, which I was not expecting so much. I was expecting a good amount, but not so much. So I teases her, and she's like, no, I don't know what you're talking about. Leave me alone. And then this is where you find out more about Rain's kind of ignoring the fact that Zai is not from this world. She doesn't even know his name yet. Do keep that in mind. Rain does not find out what Zai's name is till episode 2. You go this entire episode without finding out Zai's name. Rain never asks. Okay, Rain doesn't ask Azai his name, where he's from, why he's acting the way he is. She just does not want to deal with him at all. Now, was that on purpose? Not entirely. And he's just been following for we don't know how long. Exactly. I think the travel, when we spoke about the timeline, took like 3 days. 3 or 4 days Rain was traveling for. And he meets her on like the 3rd day. Or on the 2nd day of travel. So they traveled for 3 days together, and Rain has not asked anything. She's decided that I will deal with his presence long enough to get rid of him. To just get him to wherever he wants to go, and then I'm abandoning him, basically. She does not want to deal with him. She just wants to deal with her stuff that she needs to figure out. So this is where his eyes like, why haven't you asked me about any of this and everything of that sort? And Rain's like, I don't want to know. Right? Also, this part, my arrows were not supposed to bounce off the zombie. I don't know why that happened, but it did. I was very confused, but I'm like, I'm not cutting it now. Like, I have to keep going. So, you know what? If it looks like a whiff, it looks like a whiff. I don't know why it did that. I didn't fix anything. I didn't change anything. So, you know, it is what it is. But yeah, and then this is where Rain asks for her piece. She tells Zai off, basically, right? And he leaves her alone, and then she decides to finally go home, finds her home abandoned, right? She finds the armor and everything, and she's like, where did my family go? She only has her parents. She is an only child. And so she's confused, she's hurting, she's like, did my family leave? Where did they go? There's a lot of lore behind the reasoning her parents left, besides just what Kira reveals, which we'll talk about here in a second. But there's actually a lot more lore behind everyone leaving, why the kingdom is abandoned, than you realize. Because originally the kingdom wasn't supposed to be abandoned, but then I didn't want to find body actors, so I found a lore reason as to why it's abandoned. And you know what? That is a-okay. But yeah, so Rain's genuinely, like, she doesn't want to leave the house because she's like, maybe my parents will come in at any moment. Maybe they're just at the castle, yada, yada, yada. And then we get Kiro, our darling. Kiro comes and is like, where have you been? You know, your parents left for you not long after, and they haven't returned or anything. And it's genuinely this moment. Oh my gosh, Kiro, I love you. You did so good for this moment. This moment was so good, especially once they went outside. Rain's confused. Rain's like, what do you mean? What's going on? Yada, yada, yada. And then they go outside. right? And look at this picture for a moment. Kiro instinctively pulled out their sword while we were recording this as if guarding the house. As if guarding the house. And neither of us actually really realized this till we were finished recording. And it honestly works really well because if you think about it, Kiro's been stressed about Rain and her family, her parents, since everyone left. And so Kiro's been guarding the house basically. And suddenly Rain returns and Kiro doesn't know she can fully trust her. So this whole moment, and Rain's really mad at Kiro for being upset at Rain. You know, it's a whole back and forth. And then there's some words of like, were we ever really friends? After Kiro says, I could have used a friend. And Rain's like, were we ever really friends though? Because the thing is about Kiro's and Rain's relationship, which is kind of shown in Kiro's teaser trailer for her character, is that Rain was the main talker. Rain was the rambler of the group, and Kiro just kind of dealt with her presence. Is basically how this friendship worked out. And so Rain, after kind of being gone for so long, is like, were we ever really friends? Because you didn't interact with me the way I interacted with you. I think they have two very different looks on friendship specifically. So, right, we have this whole moment, and Rain walks away after the line of silent as always. If you have not seen episode 3, here's your spoiler right now that I am about to give a spoiler. 3, 2, 1. Those were the last words Rain got to say to Kiro. Silent as always was the last words Rain exchanged with Kiro. Their last interaction was this fight. Anywho, spoilers over. That was their last interaction. And then, so ironically, this part of the episode, right, so Rain walks away, right? Wonders if Kiro's is gonna follow her, right? Rain actually stopped thinking Kiro was going to follow and fight for the friendship. That was her hope, and that's why I ended up turning around and waiting for a moment. Originally I was gonna have a whole scene after that of Rain walking around genuinely like debating over what how the argument went and everything, but I decided that would lengthen the episode too much, so I cut that out. But this part of the episode was actually filmed in a single player world. Because the builders had already adjusted the world for what we call the shattering. So this whole thing was filmed in another world from the main server, which is why you see it fade out and then go into this scene. So I got very fortunate that none of the shattering stuff showed in this scene.
This doesn't make any sense.
To be honest. Right, so Rain's panicked, the earthquake goes, and then we have the whole scene of Rain seeing what's happened, and right, she goes up, she sees the portal, right? Panic.
No.
Instant panic from Rain, and immediately her head goes, is Kiro okay? And decides to go after Kiro.
I'm not going to lose her like I've lost everything else because of one stupid mistake.
Those were fully improv lines. Oh my god, I'm so happy with those how those lines came out. Mwah. I let myself sit in Rain's character for a moment there. But yeah, Rain's panicked. She is like, I just had an argument with Kiro, and now this world is falling apart, and Kiro has to be okay. So that's where this goes, right? And then I do your cut. So these words, the end of the episode, chat. the end of the episode is actually... So after this
Kiro!
part...
Open up!
So ironically, that scene where I smack the door, I forgot I was in creative. I actually broke Kiro's door when I did that. So originally I was going to show first person view of that, and then I broke the door. I went, oh, I can just do a flashback and show it at a different angle so you can't see the particle effects and everything. I completely forgot I was in creative for that. Because I forgot to switch back after going over everything to make sure the build came out, right? But yes, these lines are very important to foreshadowing, okay? Okay.
Life doesn't always move the way we want it to. Unexpected things can happen at any moment.
Also, this
that
was all
we have
improv as well.
Zero control over. But life moves on, and so must we. While new challenges arise, those of us born to conquer shall do just that. We will overcome
We're not
those
gonna talk about that
challenges the
flashback
world
moment.
decides to throw at us. We will move forward no matter what happens, no matter what the world decides to throw at us. We will grow. We will strengthen ourselves. Relationships, friendships may break, they may falter, but we must not allow ourselves to falter as well. Losses are going to be inevitable. But a loss does not always mean the war is over. While ruins seem to emerge everywhere, we will fight and we will stand. And maybe I won't lose everything that's left.
So yeah, those lines are very, very important to the lore. Worried about them. They ripped the door off the head hinges. Yeah, basically. But yeah, so those lines at the very end are actually relatively important to the majority of the SMP itself. Since I kind of figured it goes to Riss Rain's lore, but it was also me being the creator of the SMP. That was me hinting at what's about to go down. Also, control. The word control. At the time when so much happens. Yeah, so much happens. Yeah, so yeah. Control is like the key word to the SMP at this point right now, it feels. But yeah, so originally this episode was supposed to start without this like little intro scene of things definitely falter, indeed. Without the scene of Rain running up. Oh, it's more relevant than you know. April rains. It's so relevant. I realized that Zaid pointed this out. The intro to the episode was really rough
Kiro!
originally.
Open up!
Because originally I just started it here. And it was very like jarring, and Zaid pointed it out to me, so I decided to bring back the end of the last one. And I think that's just gonna be how I go the rest of my episodes, is to kind of like an itty bitty bit of the ending from the last episode. I just copy and paste that with the music and everything, and then I bring it into the next episode. I need to get that done for episode 4. But yeah, so Rain finds that Kiro is gone. Kiro's not in their place, and Rain is feeling extremely panicked right now. Like, she's like, these were the last words I said to Kiro. I need to make sure Kiro's okay. My parents are gone. Everything is going just to chaos right now. Everything is going wrong that she couldn't even imagine going wrong right now. Right? And so she, to find Kiro, she's like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. You know, what is happening? All the panic stuff. Like, you know, if this happened to your world, what would you do? And then, so first of all, I was whiffing so bad. I was like, it's fine. I'm panicking because I'm in character.
You're missing all my shots, you know? It's because you're panicking, Rain. Rain, you are panicking.
So-
and it's causing you to miss your shots,
And here comes Azai.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Right?
You.
Rain.
You.
And this lore right here.
Are you alright?
Am I alright?
Oh, mwah, mwah. Oh my gosh. This interaction between Azai and Rain as Azai is trying to explain briefly what is happening. And Rain just does not want to accept it. Or she is accepting it, but she's like, I don't want to believe that this is what's happening. You know?
They should be okay.
Should be, you know.
I can give you the details later. Right now,
I do.
I think that it's never known.
The world is changing. The world has actively changed, and while yes, it is only the kingdom, the main city, that has been physically affected, the entire world itself is affected in other ways. To say the very least. Right? So ironically, the necromancer, that was not planned. The necromancer just showed up out of nowhere. And it kind of worked perfectly with the magic and everything. And we were like, well, let's just keep moving. Let's just keep improving because what are we going to do? Completely restart? The necromancer. And the reason...
Oh. Well, that's nice.
Right? Hold on.
Oh boy, that's not good. That's not good.
Actually, that's a cryomancer. The reason I say, oh, that's not good, I heard the sound. I have trauma from that sound from when we were with Kiro in the SMP with Luna. And Kiro buried themselves underground because of the necromancer. I remember hearing that sound and seeing a horde of zombies. I was like, no. So that just slipped into the lore. I was panicked. I was like, oh, I'm not about to die here while recording. No. So
That's not good.
Zayd's little getting injured sounds. Zayd, I love you, but oh my gosh. I have some trauma from those things. I think we all do at this point with the SMP. But yeah,
The
so...
only thing I can really use to describe it. That's how I ended up here. Then...
The veil, the...
Information overload. Oh my gosh, the amount of lore they drops in just these few minutes.
I didn't shoot you. You dissolved my arrow before it could.
You still shot, you just failed in the attempt.
Okay, so...
And as some of you know, this was a cut part that we had to completely redo because of all the little puppets or dolls that you're going to see around the house. They're still there, by the way. Those dolls are still in the house. You see them in episode 3 too. Rain's panicked. Right? A lot of panic going on.
What?
Seeing them was great. Yes. We only took
Your
out 2.
architecture is fascinating. Sorry, off topic.
No, you're not from this...
And here comes Bram's song. Bram, I'm so grateful to you for sending the acoustic version of the song. I know you're not done with it yet, but Oh. Ugh. Oh. Hi, Olive. 13-hour call, so I gotta log in. Oh. Oh my gosh. Goodness gracious. Bram's song. This Bram's song just perfectly aligned
Well, you
with
said that
this
earlier.
whole
Okay.
moment.
Maybe you were right earlier. Maybe I have been a horrible host.
And so you get a whole lore dump of Azai and what's going on and where he's from and everything of that sorts. And then they're like, okay, let's go see what we can do. I decide, since Kiro was unavailable for recording during these recording sessions, that I'm just gonna go out to the village. That ironically, this is a village that Luna's and Charming's character live in. So I simply pass by those because I decided I'm not going to tie that in quite yet. But you do see me glance at the farm because Rain is fully aware of the farmer, aka Luna. Right, so they travel, and this is where you get a little bit more information about Rain and who she is.
No.
I can't say for certain.
No. Okay, let's just. I don't know. I don't know. My father's better at this. I don't.
Your father?
Yes, my dad,
Okay, keep in mind, this is the first moment you hear Rain call her father Dad. I'm not going to say too much about Rain with her relationship with her parents, but it is strained, and this is the first time that, like, Rain really realizes how much she misses her parents, right? So, my dad, that is the one and only time, if I remember correctly, that you hear Rain reference to her parents as, or her father specifically, as dad and not father.
he's how do I explain it? He's like a royal advisor. He helps the king when it comes to disagreements between other kingdoms.
So this is when you find out that Rain's father is more of a royal advisor to the king and everything, and obviously Azai asks, well, what happened to them? And Rain's like, I don't know, they're gone, because that's what Kiro told me, you know? And she's frustrated, right? So they get to the king, or the village, and Rain just feels this panic. Now, originally,
What do you mean it's possible?
right, Rain's like, it's possible everything is going to hell, basically.
How can I rest or be okay if Kiro's out there?
I'm not even kidding. I was so into character in this moment. Chat, I was so into character in this moment that weird muffle sound you hear over my voice for a second, it's literally me running my hand down my face because I was so in character for a moment while recording this. I felt so stressed.
If Kiro's out there and harmed or injured or dealing with whatever the consequences, as I mentioned, are, Okay, I need. Mom and Dad are gone. Kiro's gone.
Rain is a stressed little thing. Like, there's not much you can do for her at this
Nothing.
point because she is just being put through the ringer. Now, originally, did I plan on putting Rain through the ringer the way I am currently? No, not at all. And I will tell you my original plans for Rain at the end of episode 3. The bean needs a hug, for real, for real. Indeed, she needs, oh boy. Right, and then she can't sleep, you hear the restlessness, and...
I can't sleep, I can't. I need it. I can't do this.
So,
No.
originally, the episode was supposed to end here. This is where the episode was supposed to end, but I showed, I think it was Typo. I showed Typo the episode to see how it felt, right? Because I was hesitant on this episode. I didn't like how it was coming out right now. And by the time we finished watching it, I was like, I feel like there's something missing, but I don't know what. And Tybo kind of helped me just let myself ramble my writer thoughts, quote unquote, and just kind of talk about it for a bit. And that's when I figured out that I needed to continue the episode of showing Rain running away again. Keep that in mind. This is not the first time she's done this. She runs away when she's scared. What is she scared of? A multitude of things. That's all I can say. A multitude of things, okay? So, we love avoidance. Yeah, she's avoiding a lot. And she's like, okay, I gotta get home. Stupid. Right, and then there's...
I have to get home. I have to leave. I can't. I'm not running again.
I don't know why that's mistimed. Why are her characters so similar? I don't know. I don't know why that's mistimed. That didn't sound so mistimed in my
I have to
editing.
get home. I have to leave. I can't.
Because it was supposed to be here.
I'm not running again.
I don't know why that's where it is. I hope that's not how it came out in the video. I pray that's not how it came out in the video, or I will cry, but it's fine. Right, so she gets home, she knows she needs materials, and she finds her father's backpack filled with emergency gear. Why does he have this? We don't know. Am I going to show why he has this? Probably not, unless somehow I find a way to bring her father back. We're going with the punches right here, chat. But keep in mind, he is an advisor to the king, so he has better materials than the majority of the people. So the enchanted bow, I think it only has like unbreaking on it, so it wasn't anything like overpowered or anything. The double blade and the armor, right? It Rain's like, I don't know why my father has this, but it's
Just take it and go.
right.
Just take it and go. It's fine. It's fine.
Rain gets the backpack on and is like, okay, let's go. She tries to find Kiro one last time before leaving because she wants to bring Kiro with her away from the danger. She doesn't want to leave Kiro again. At least not without a goodbye if Kiro refuses to go with her. Kiro is still not there. Okay? So Rain is like, I can't stay and wait for her. I'm gonna have to go. Should I have left a note or something? Yeah, probably, but it's fine. And then this interaction.
So I'll make somewhere new. I still have to find Kiro.
She's gonna come back. She wants to come back for Kiro.
Find her. I'll make sure she's safe.
Also, this moment, oh my god, Zayd scared the living shit out of me. I actually quite physically jumped when Zayd teleported in front of me. I'm not even kidding. He scared the living shit out of me. And when I came back to tell him this, he laughed and said that's exactly what he was going for. I was very upset. I was very upset with him in this moment. But it's fine. But this interaction of Azai understanding Rain in a way of being like, you don't have to say anything. I understand. Go do what you need to do, basically. Right? And Rain's just like, okay, I'm not being judged right here. I'm leaving. And I think internally at this moment, she's basically thinking, Azai will make sure Kiro's okay. Right? Because Azai knows that Rain was searching for her best friend. Right? So I think she is aware that Azai will make sure Kiro's okay. And that's why she doesn't exactly stay away. She stays, okay. Episode 3. If you have not watched episode 3, we're going to watch this a bit more. I'm actually not going to talk as much through this. I will actually let it play. And I'll just pause it as we go. But, oh boy. This is... Oh wait, it's not. Let me get the sound. You cannot hear it. Okay, hold on. Hold on, chat. There it is.
Entry 1. I've left home again. I ran away when I said I wouldn't. It's been a couple months. I know Kira won't be happy if I return. Hopefully she can forgive me again.
Also, this crossfade transitions and everything. Oh my god, this was such a pain in the ass to film. I hated filming this.
Entry 2. I'm not great at doing journals, but something's wrong. I don't know what. Maybe it's just everything that's happened. Something just doesn't feel right.
Like, especially constantly having to remember where everything's placed. Because this was filmed after the
Entry
intro.
3.
I did
started
ask
losing
Luna
count
how to
of
get the
many
shot.
days are passing. I hoped using a journal would help with such things, but I'm not keeping up with it.
So, right, real quick, timeline-wise, the house that you see, right, the house that we built on stream, by the way, because it's a shot I employ many times. It is indeed. I figured out how to do the transition on my own. But the actual shot itself, and you'll see the camera angle move when I have to change my Minecraft skin, because that was the main thing I was trying to ask. I did my best, but it was still a bit of a pain in the butt. Yeah. I tried. I got it in the right position. It's just the actual angle of the head that I didn't get right, and you know what? That's okay. But yes, remembering where all the papers were supposed to be scattered and everything, I had to take a screenshot before doing this. This was actually my second time filming this scene because I didn't film it too great the first time. So, yeah. Pain in my butt.
Entry 4. I think I'm reaching close to my 3rd month on my own. I've noticed something. I can't fully draw my bow back. No matter how much I rest I give myself, I can't use my father's bow.
So this is where I wasn't sure. Originally, there wasn't supposed to be a voiceover, actually, over all this, like, searching for answers and everything. Is I open the camera time frame settings and screenshot the values. Fair enough. But no, so I changed the skin here, and the journal entries weren't originally supposed to be heard or seen right away. This was actually supposed to be seen in episode 4, but it just felt weird leaving everything so quiet in the beginning. And I was like, honestly, the journal entries may show a good way of showing what Rain's going through. And this is when you start noticing, like, after the camera angle change, when you start noticing physical changes in Rain. And it's also shown in the thumbnail too, which I was very specific with Tiv to make sure to capture. So, yeah. Like, her hair has shifted just a little bit.
Entry 5.
It looks like it's graying, but
Something
that's
isn't
okay.
right. I know I've said that already. I can barely even touch my bow anymore. I still carry it to have comfort, but it's useless. I've tried everything. No amount of training is helping me.
Yep. I'm very proud of that intro, I will
Entry
say.
6. This has to be something as I mentioned to do with the rift. My appetite is fading. I don't feel like eating much anymore, yet my energy remains like I am. Could I have been touched by the rift?
So this is when Rain really starts kind of figuring out what may be happening and what's causing what's happening to her.
Entry 7. I have to find his eye. He'll have more answers than all these books I've found. Maybe I'll tell him what's going on. I just need to know if this is something I can control
or not. If this is something I can control or not. Remember episode 1? Oh, I tied in that line for a specific reason, because episode 1, that was all improv, and obviously that came out long before episode 3 was filmed. But I was like, how funny would it be if I did this? How funny. So yes, I decided to bring that call back in. So if people, fun fact, this isn't the path Rain was going to go. I was told by what happened by April. Yes. So, fun fact, Rain wasn't supposed to be touched by the rift originally. Rain was not supposed to be touched by the rift. She was supposed to remain, as Zai calls it later on in this episode, untainted. Rain was never supposed to gain any abilities or start going through physical changes or anything of that sorts. I actually had a whole character planned out for Rain based off never getting abilities. And ironically, the only reason I actually ended up going with the Rift Touched route, which is what Rain is now, was because I found an origin that really captured my interest, and I thought about the irony of that origin of not being able to use long-range weapons. Keep that in mind. Rain's character is built upon long-range weapons with the bow. And I was like, how ironic. I talked to Zaid about that, right? I told Zaid, I was like, okay, look, I'm thinking about changing my character. This is my idea. What do you think? Because I am unsure if I want to change it so, like, later on. So much later on into recording than what we originally planned, because Rain was never supposed to become this. Genuinely. But, you know, it is what it is. We go with the groove. We figure stuff out as we go. And yeah, that's where we came here.
Entry 8. Preparations to head home are almost ready. I have 2 main objectives. Find Azai, see what he knows. Find Kiro, see if she'll let me explain.
Ironically, I was gonna do a whole scene of just flashbacks following Rain, but
Entry
then
9.
that was too much of a pain in the butt.
I'm heading out tomorrow. If you find this book, well, you found a piece of someone who's falling apart. If you're suffering, know you're not alone. Entry 10. I'm leaving today to go back home. If I don't return, know that I did have a future once upon a time.
And I had my mic muted this entire time, by the way, during that whole recording session, because I knew I wanted to do a voiceover. I just didn't know what at the time. So I didn't want to record myself saying anything.
Muted just in time. Okay. Now where would he be?
So right, remember, episode 1, Rain had a very strong distaste for Azai. Episode 2, you see that kind of shift because Azai has information Rain may need. Episode 3, she becomes reliant on Azai. The irony of how this is going, because the way, Zayd and I actually discussed how we kind of wanted the dynamic between Azai and Rain to be. This is going in a very different route than we originally planned, but we're also just rolling with the punches, because that's all this is. This is genuinely, we just figure out a little bit of where I want the episode to go, and then we just go with it. Genuinely, like, especially this episode, episode 3 and episode 4 are just full improv, just going with the interactions that are being asked of me. Like, I will say, episode 4, there is an interaction with Luna in it, which is why Luna mentions the interaction earlier on. So, I do have a partial bit of episode 4, at least the very beginning of episode 4 recorded. Oh, it's very juicy. Oh my gosh. I still have to get the flashbacks for that. The ways in which we interact is so juicy. Indeed. I'm very curious how you're going to edit our interaction, Luna. I am very curious how that's going to go. Because I know you and I have very different ways of storytelling with the Minecraft SMP stuff. You're doing yours more as a TV show. I'm doing more as a casual. I haven't done it yet. I'm doing it today. Ooh, I'm excited. Anyway, Yeah. So episode 3 was fully running with the punches. No, I can't. I need Velvet's line tomorrow. Yeah. Also, when I start looking for his eye, I actually didn't know where Zaid was gonna be. If I remember correctly, I didn't know where Zaid was gonna be at the time, and so I just used logic. I was like, I have a feeling he's probably gonna be here. I don't know for sure, but we're gonna try.
Need to find him before I do anything else.
Dread of seeing her home again, because she's like, I probably need to get a couple things from there, but my family's still
Maybe
not
he's by
there.
the portal. He said he caused it, so it makes sense.
Also, I just want to say, the amount of flashback shots I do on this specific bridge is never on purpose. Genuinely. Like, I've started realizing I do a lot of flashback shots on this specific bridge, and it just works. But there's a lot of them.
him.
You'll notice that throughout all 3 episodes.
To be by
I'm trying to cut down on the
maybe-
amount
maybe
of bridge
he's
shots I do.
stepping
I need to
out or
start taking
something.
another route, but
Okay.
I've had an idea, April, for your stuff. Ooh, boy. I'm curious. Also, I had no idea if there would be mobs actually spawned. Just common route, exactly. I had actually no idea if things would be spawned here, so I was actually so on guard with
Nothing
it.
dangerous. Okay.
And then I saw his name tag. I was like, oh, that's where he is. Okay, let's go that way. Knowing I have to face Kiro later on. Or Rain knowing she has to face
I?
Kiro later on.
Now that's a voice I wasn't expecting to hear.
Yeah, well, things have changed.
Your armor.
Yeah, I need to talk to you.
You haven't gone mad, have you?
Gone mad.
So, Zayd saying that line is ironic because, as said, Rain does not like Azai at first. She still doesn't exactly like him. She's just become a bit more reliant on him, right? He's the only one with information that could help her. And so him saying, have you gone mad? Me laughing was genuine because I didn't know how to respond to it at first.
Sorry, you needing to talk to me?
I mean, if you're that, I don't know, if you're that flabbergasted by it, we don't have to talk. I can figure it out.
No. What is it you need to talk about?
You and Carol did cook, that is true.
Not here.
I see.
So, okay, the not here thing, right? Rain doesn't want anyone else to know that she's going through something. It's weak right now, first of all. Second of all, she doesn't want to risk Kiro possibly coming out of the castle or out of her home and seeing Rain and asking, why have you come to see me? So she decides, we're going back to my house because I don't want to risk anything. Why are our characters so similar?
Alright then, lead the way.
Literally say not here in this episode.
See, nothing has changed since I left.
I've made a bit of an effort not to change anything myself. I don't even know if I'd be capable of even attempting repairs
I'm
here.
gonna say it again. The
Mhm.
amount of shots of flashback I do on this
Have you
bridge
seen anyone?
is insane.
Rain. Kiro's okay.
Okay.
Also, I'm
Thank
so
you.
grateful my breaths have been picking up in my mic for these recordings.
So,
Oh my
With
gosh.
that information, I probably should confirm the obvious.
Mm-hmm. And what's that?
I'm going to be referring to this as, like, a general term for anybody who hasn't been touched by the rift.
The
but
only
they're
bridge was built
untainted.
to be important. There's only 2 ways to
Nothing's
get up there, and
happened
the
to them.
bridge is the main one. Yeah.
Nothing's happened to them.
Okay.
And it's
okay,
right
no,
next to
that's-
Rain's house, so
good.
it works.
That's... I'm relieved to hear that.
Also, right here, the reason I stare at the door so long is I do not remember leaving it open. I don't remember leaving it open. I was genuinely, like, so confused why it was open. That wasn't lore intended or anything. It just kind of happened, and I when I was editing this, I was like, do I leave this in? Do I not? I don't know. That's why I just end up going, when I see Zane's trying to get it, I'm like, I shouldn't move.
Haven't been in here in a while.
Yeah. I don't think I did, Luna. That's the thing. That could have been you. I don't know. I can't say for sure. Still hasn't changed.
So, what's going on? You wouldn't have made a trek all the way back to the kingdom for nothing. This
No.
seems important.
I remember one of our last conversations.
Yeah, all the dolls.
Before I left, about people possibly gaining abilities or being like touched by the rift.
Look, there's Antari.
Don't tell me.
It's only
Also, funny thing, when we did this recording session, Antari did not have their Christmas skin on, but for some reason, when I did the flashback, it had the Christmas skin on. I didn't realize it would update like that in flashback. Kind of ironic. So yeah, so you'll see Antari's skin specifically shift throughout this episode based off flashback or not.
a theory. I can't say for sure. I don't have any abilities or anything. Not that I figured out within. I don't even know how long it's been now.
I've been studying the rift while you were gone. I figure since I'm the one who probably has the most intimate knowledge with it, I could at least figure out something. Get a deeper meaning of what's going on here.
Okay.
I've developed a theory.
basically, Thrasher.
So as you know, and I'm going to be saying this as another general term,
Mm-hmm.
the arcane essence coming from the rift is more concentrated at the rift, thankfully.
Mm-hmm.
But it has some sort of heartbeat.
A heartbeat.
It's not alive. It's more so I can feel the arcane essence pulsating out of it like waves of it coming out. They're not intense, but it leads me to believe that there is a possibility that there is a delayed factor to someone becoming rift touched.
You mean like me?
So here, Rain recognizes that she has been touched by the rift. Especially after hearing Azai's theory. She recognizes that and she hates it. She hates that this is happening to her after everything that she sees herself have been through, right? Rain is not as traumatized as I make her seem in these episodes, but that is very much on purpose. I'm hoping to do some flashbacks of her childhood later on, like I do for Kiro's and Kiro's letter, which will be shown later on in the video. But she's not as traumatized. She really isn't. She actually had a very happy childhood.
It's just that 1 year, that one singular year has changed her perception on a lot of stuff. So,
Have you looked in a mirror by any chance lately?
No, I don't have that kind of material out where I am.
Do you have one here?
Not that I'm aware of. My mother never wanted me to worry about my looks.
mirrors don't exist in Minecraft, so that's my excuse.
As a child.
Well, it could just be time playing on my vision, but I don't think you had that light of a shade in your hair before.
It's really annoying. Someone wanted mirror shots. Understandable. Well, okay, the ironic thing is, chat, you'll notice later on in the episode, Rain's hair shifts again. She doesn't know this is happening unless someone points it out, like Azai has pointed out here. Later on in the episode, Azai doesn't point it out a second time, even though it has changed again. Right? I honestly thought Zayd would, and that he'd seem a bit more concerned, but he didn't, and honestly, it works. So, just saying.
I had a feeling. I don't even know how to explain what's been going on. Here, come here. I need to show you something. So, you know that one of the only ways I learned how to fight was through shooting, right? With my bow.
Correct.
I don't know if
Oh,
that's
and-
possible anymore.
What?
I've been trying to train while I've been gone to be able to... I planned on returning. I didn't know how to face everyone when I did. And throughout the months that I've been gone, I've noticed my use in the bow. It's like I'm fatigued. I can't...
But that's impossible. You clearly aren't. You've made the journey here.
So, okay, this shot. When I put on the origin, which the origin is applied later on in the episode, I cannot actively use my bow. Even in my inventory, when I go to grab it, it tells me, hey, you cannot use this, right? I had to figure out a way. I decided to keep the origin off for this shot. To show that she cannot use the bow, and that was the only way I could think of, is showing her she's not able to pull it back. I wish I could have held it longer, but if I did, she would have been able to use the bow regularly, which she can't. So, you know, like, yeah.
That's all I can do. I can barely pull back my string anymore.
She has weakness with the bow. To me, it communicates that her arms gave out. Okay. As long as that came
Okay.
across clearly.
It's only with the bow, correct?
I think so. I mean, I can still use my dagger, and I've been training with this, or trying to. I've never used a long
I'm
weapon
gonna
like it
talk about that
before.
later. After the
Seems
whole
quite
Kiro thing.
unconventional, but I guess you and I have had similar developments.
Also, off topic. I apologize for any of the thumping noise that you're hearing over stream. My nephew's at the house right now. So he's playing with all the toys that Grandma and Grandpa got him. So that's what all the thumping noise is I tried turning down my sensitivity, but it's not working well. Or turning up my sensitivity, sorry. So that's what all that little boom 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 boom, boom noises. It's my nephew playing. I kept looking around for where that was since there's construction next door. Yeah, no, it's just my nephew. Munchkin having fun, indeed. He loves his grandpa. He loves grandpa. Literally, chat. Okay, little personal, but my nephew, when it comes to grandpa, everyone else is chopped liver. Not even kidding. You will ask to hold him because grandpa will be holding him, right? You reach out, he'll smack your hands away and say no. No one else matters besides grandpa when grandpa is here. Oh, not even grandma. We love advocating for parents. Like, we don't take him away from grandpa when grandpa's here, unless grandpa has to go do something. He loves grandpa. We don't know why, because he doesn't get to see grandpa very often. But this kid, when grandpa has to leave, right, when he gives him back to mom and dad, he starts bawling and crying out grandpa. It is the sweetest thing. It is heartbreaking. But oh my gosh. Yeah, no, he's spoiled rotten by grandpa. I can say that much. But yes, so my nephew is here right now. I'm obviously downstairs. He's playing in the living room, which is right above my room. So that's why you keep hearing all the noises. So I apologize if that's interrupting anything.
I've been busy.
I see that.
Courtesy of your best friend.
April, I'm scared of giving myself until January 2nd. I'm only 4 minutes into editing. Oh boy. So
Only
you've
to
been
fight me fairly, they said.
That sounds like Kiro.
Okay.
So funny thing, originally Zaid wanted to film with Kiro for those interactions of them like meeting for the first time and learning to start training and everything. So you don't want me to be able to start the year with content? Wow. Yeah, you guys aren't gonna have content till like the 3rd week of January from me. Haha. You're not gonna have content from me for a bit because I'm gonna be out of state for an entire week. My CCs hate me. No! I may delay our interaction until episode 4. It is entirely up to you, Luna. If you decide to post our interaction before I do, that's fine. Just for time concerns. That's valid. I still have like 7 minutes of redacted video. Oh, that. that. Okay. I see where you're getting at. Okay.
Well, you're still able to use melee weaponry. That's good. But as for your condition,
A certain someone I won't talk about yet. I knew exactly who you're referencing to.
If you're comfortable with that, of course.
I left everything out there. I just brought what I needed.
Then I'll go with you.
I need to find Kiro first. I need to talk to her.
Then... Well, you have a place to stay at least. I at least have been staying over by that tree over there. Didn't really want to
The stables?
use any of the homes. It didn't feel right. And also, those horses are pretty cool.
There's one more thing.
What is it?
It's ironic. So his eyes stink. Yeah, a little bit. Rain's not going to talk about it. The ironic thing about this part of the conversation is you literally see I'm halfway through my food bar. as I talk about Rain losing her appetite, because the thing is with the origin I'm using, it's not that I can't, it's not just that I can't use long range weapons, I can't eat, which is going to be revealed later on, technically. You guys get a little sneak peek, but like, yeah. Yeah, so but yeah, so you get a little sneak peek for now.
How do I explain this? You know how we all have to like eat to keep our energy and all that.
I don't like where this is going.
Zai, my appetite's been fading.
Genuinely.
Yes, don't get me wrong, I can still eat. I still have to eat here and there, but nowhere near the amount that I used to.
What happens when you eat? Like, what do you feel exactly?
I almost feel like I have to force myself.
So, okay, during this part of the conversation, and this is where it gets a little close to heart for me, certain phrases I use is me giving hints towards mental health because as someone, as many of you know, as someone who suffers from depression and everything, this is me giving that little, hey, there's other stuff in this world that can cause things like this to happen, and I recognize that. That's me giving that little like, hey, I see you and no, you're not alone kind of thing. And tying that in was originally kind of unintentional, but intentional at the same time. So I just want to know that's not what Rain is getting at, but it's also me as the creator saying, hey, I recognize that this is not only caused by this, and that I'm hitting very real things right now. So no, hey, it's okay, you know?
That's it? No sort of after effects or...
I don't know. I feel it's almost like it gives me more weakness than it does energy.
This is just adding to my theory. Let me write this down real quick.
So you think it was the rift?
Okay. It's a very clear possibility.
Okay.
This could...
So here I realized I had to eat, or else I wouldn't be able to run or anything. So I decided to crouch in the corner to represent that, hey, I feel weakness after this. That's the best thing I could do with all that was happening.
introduce a bit of a problem. If it does linger, and the longer it does, the more chances people who are untainted have to become rift-touched. We need to find a way to close it.
I left. I couldn't even see the portal from where I was. I was here
Rain.
for a day after it happened. Not even how is Kiro untouched and yet I'm the one suffering the effects?
The irony of those words. So no, I'm gonna touch on that later. After the Kiro thing, I'm gonna touch on a few things that happened earlier on in this episode. Yeah.
I don't know the specifics of that just yet. But if one thing's for certain, leaving that rift now, not a good idea. I've confirmed that this realm now has magic in it, and it's getting more and more adjusted. It could end up becoming the new normal here.
No.
It hasn't yet.
Okay, so we're getting to that point where the conversation is still relative, but it's not as important to specifically Rain's lore, right? So they chat for a bit, right? And there's so many other things in at least this world that could explain a loss of appetite. So this is where I reference to the mental health stuff specifically, to show, hey, I recognize that I'm hitting a heavy topic right now. Know that I recognize that that's what I'm doing. You know, yada yada yada. Also adds in just under a minute chat. And weakness and
Enough so that you...
So right, they're primarily just talking
malice in
about
their voice
Rain,
It's-
Kiro,
And everything.
and all that.
Here, do you?
Azai wants to do research, and Rain, know that her father's office is very important to her. She doesn't want anything to happen to her father's office because it's the last sign showing that her parents were here. Right, so letting Azai in and opening herself up to that vulnerability is massive to her, specifically. Massive to her. So, just, yeah.
But I.
Alright.
If you do need rest, you're welcome to stay in my parents' room.
Like, her opening herself up to
It's just
Azai
those doors right there.
in this way is massive
I'll be right next
for
door.
her character growth until
Come a
Kiro.
long way. Whether you think yourself a coward or whatever, you should hold your head up high.
I did not expect Zayd to say this, by the
You're
way.
still going.
This was fully unplanned. I was like, oh, okay. And then Rain sleeps. This is where her skin changes. I don't show that till they
Unfortunately,
are
I haven't really
outside,
left this office since
and that you
slept.
notice the speed changes in
I
her
see.
steps. Right? So, right, this is Rain now. Let me see if I can get a decent shot.
Entry 8. Preparations to head home are almost ready. I have two main objectives. Find his eye, see what he knows.
This
And
is
Kiro,
great. Okay.
see if she'll let-
Right here.
Things have changed.
Diango! Diango! Hi, Diango. How was your stream? Thank you for the raid. Hi, everyone. Hi, Diango. How are you doing? How was your stream? What did you do? Hi, raiders. Welcome and welcome in. For those of you who do not know me, hi, everyone. My name is April Rains, otherwise known as just April. I am a storyteller variety streamer. I primarily play a lot of RPGs, do writing, and all of that good fun stuff. Why is the leaderboard all nerdy? Because nerdy's nerdy. It's always nerdy, indeed. Yeah, right now, I am non-binary. I go by they them pronouns. I am losing my little speech for raids. Hi. Right now we are going over my third episode of a lore SMP that I am the founder of called Ruins SMP. We're kind of deep diving a little bit more into my current lore. Yeah. So thank you, Dangle, for the raid. If you got a raid in dip, that is a-okay. If not, please tell me about your stream and what you did and what little goober chaos you got up to. So, yes. Murder. Murder? Murder? I'm curious but concerned, but mainly curious because knowing Diego, that's common. So many people got bit. What do you mean people got bit? Last one. Oh, you were one of those participants. Okay. I need to play that mod pack. I actually have a server I'm in for it that is doing it, but I gotta see if I can join a session. Diego low-key went crazy. We got moited. I'm actually curious. I'll have to go back and watch that VOD. I'm curious how that went. I'm very curious because I know Antari played in that too. So I'm very curious now. I'm very, very curious. Ooh. Okay. But yeah, so keep in mind, Rain looked relatively normal. And then we reach this. Rain does not look too normal anymore. Yeah, it words. Hello? Yes, the hair. Yes. The hair is the only change you're gonna see physically with Rain. Also, for those who are new, Rain is my character from Ruins. So, little information for you. If you want to watch the series, I have 3 episodes currently up on my new YouTube channel. Well, it's not new, but it is kind of new because of videos, and I'm actually doing stuff now. But yeah, so this is when I finally applied the origin for the episode because it felt like it was finally time. The reason, lore-wise, why originally I wasn't planning on having Rain go through the physical changes as quickly as 3 shifts in an episode, basically. But Zayd and I discussed for a bit, and we figured out that Rain being next to the rift again for the first time in 4 months would kind of quote unquote speed up the process for her gaining abilities and getting those more physical changes and everything. So that's kind of why we went onto that. Why she has this physical change specifically.
You seem swifter.
Do I? I had to act so clueless here.
Your usual walking pace isn't there. Are you in a hurry?
No, not. I'm walking normally.
I'm going to start running. I want you to just, quote unquote, walk normally.
Oh, okay.
You were nearly keeping pace with me. Are you sure you're okay?
I feel fine. I feel a little more energized, honestly. And do you remember, Zai's not pointing out that Rain's going through more physical changes. It's more everything else. But the big moments. Chat. Hearing this recorded after Kirill sent me the voice lines hurt. Reading the letter at 10:30 p.m. at night hurt. And I'm gonna talk about it after we listen to it, okay? I'm gonna really talk about this part specifically here in a minute. Oh my gosh! What the heck, guys? Antari, thank you for the raid. Hello, gamer. First Diego, now Antari. Oh my gosh, we got 2 Harpy Express people. Hi, everyone. How are you doing? I hope you are doing well. I hope you had fun on the Harpy Express. I'd love to say hi to another awesome goober only to get sent back here. Hello, Antari. We are just getting to the hefty part of my lore from episode 3. Oh boy. Hello everyone. If you do not know me, I'm gonna go through this all over again. Ready for emotional damage from the book lines. Yes, indeed. All roads lead back to April. I have a lot of connections. Antari Raiders, because Diego's already got this. Hello, everyone. My name is April. I'm a variety storytelling streamer. I play a good amount of visual novels, RPGs, yada yada yada. On my YouTube, I do Minecraft lore, which we are currently watching my 3rd episode of a SMP I founded called Ruins SMP. If you are an Antari watcher, Antari may have spoken about this. I do not know if Antari has spoken about this, but yes. Yes. Anywho, we are getting to a very hefty part of episode 3. But yeah, April showed me and redacted this after we were recording. Carol actually made me cry, like, what the fuck? Yes. But yeah, if you must rate and dip, you are more than welcome to. You do not have to stick around, but I hope you all have a lovely day if you do so, and take care of yourselves. Get water, get food, do what you got to do. Okay? Anywho, on to the heavy part. Remember this.
What is it? What did you find?
She
That?
left her necklace.
That wasn't there before.
Have a good lurk, Antari. I'm gonna mute for this part. I don't like the name of the book that's here.
Should we head back to your place?
No.
Rain, if you're reading this, then I failed to find you.
When you first left, I spent a whole year lying to myself and insisting that I didn't miss you. Just like when Mother died, I refused to let anyone see that I felt abandoned. I didn't realize how much I needed you until I saw you again in your house. I spent every day watching your house from a distance to protect against thieves. I know now that it's because I couldn't bring myself to lose what I had left of you. I am so worried about you, and ever since the weird sky thing opened up, I feel weaker and weaker each day. I don't know what's happening to me, Rain, and honestly, I'm so scared. Why did you have to leave me again? You'd changed, but you were home. You're my home. Azai has been acceptable company, but they just reminded me of your absence and the way you would watch me train. I've decided that I have to make sure I see you before I'm too weak to move. I have to make sure that you know I care about you. You're just like the stars. So bright and pretty, and I never took the time to appreciate them. I'm sorry. Kira.
Okay, hold on. Okay. So anyway, if anyone needs any voice acting, I take cat. Emotional damage. So, okay. I'm gonna talk about a couple things with this letter now. So this whole first part of the recording for the episode, right before Rain decides to get some rest, that was all recorded in one go. And the funny thing is, originally the way Azai and Rain speak is because Zaid and I had previously planned to record with Kiro for later in this episode, where you see Rain go to Kiro's house. She was going to actually interact with Kiro, and Kiro was going to see what was going on with Rain. Now, I can't say for sure how that interaction would have gone, but then Kiro messaged. The last freaking paragraph. Yeah. Then Kiro messaged, and we had a very long, not very long, but a heavy conversation, and Kiro made the decision to quote-unquote kill off their character. This was all on, I'm not blaming Kiro, but this was Kiro's decision to do this route, and we sat in VC for a bit to figure out how we wanted to go about it to explain it in lore, specifically Rain's lore, since Kiro was really only involved in Rain's lore. And we decided on Ruins Kiro decided to go hunt down. I love and support my roommate. Wait, what? No more Kiro? No more Kiro. Unless Kiro decides to do something. I can't say for sure. But Kiro has been extremely busy and made this. I did decide to make it this tragic all on my own. I am to blame for the emotional damage. I just did the editing. That hit a little harder. Honestly. But yeah, so we spoke for a bit on what would make the most sense for the lore for Kiro's character to no longer be around, instead of constantly avoiding the whole thing of where's Kiro, why isn't Kiro here, you know, dancing around interactions and such. But yeah, so the scenes where the irony of the scene where Rain expresses, why is this happening to me and Kiro's okay when Kiro's been underneath the rift this entire time, is very ironic because at the time when I said that line, I fully believed I was going to record with Kiro later. All the lines that are said before this scene was genuine, I'm going to see Kiro later, which honestly just makes it hit better in a way. So the emotional damage wasn't fully on me, to be honest. I'm very happy with how the majority of this episode turned out. I say majority because the scene where like Rain goes to his eyes like I'm gonna go find Kiro and such, I'm not as happy, especially with that bridge scene and all, but it is what it is, you know, that's the fun of improv. But yes, so Kiro, am I allowed to talk like in depth what we originally planned for our characters? Am I permitted to talk about it? Yeah, for sure. Okay, so originally, Kiro and Rain, Ruins Kiro specifically, obviously, we're supposed to get together, or that's where what we were planning, depending on how the story went. There was supposed to be a relationship between these two. Kiro broke that Sundays, which is why Kiro decided to put in, I have to make sure that you know I love. We were going to do non-doomed Yuri, and then we had to do doomed Yuri, basically. Basically what happened. I'm not even kidding. Someone messaged Kiro asking if they could ship our characters after episode 1. Well, you see how that went. But yes, so originally there was supposed to be a non-doomed Yuri between Rain and Ruins Kiro that ended up not being able to happen. So the I love you part of the note was on purpose. I didn't help with the note like or letter at all. This was all written by Kiro. But yeah. Make it a little more doomed Yuri for the pile. Exactly. Just throw it into the pile. There's a lot of it in Minecraft lore. We know this. I do not apologize. I actually genuinely do not apologize for putting you guys through this pain, because the development that will come from Rain within this, from just this one singular moment within the episodes, oh, this was not the route at all I could see happening for Rain. It's really funny how this SMP has become vaguely queer quoted. Yeah, I think it worked out so well, even though it wasn't the original plan. No, I agree. I know my story is definitely queer coded. I think my story is still going to be very queer coded, and that's the only spoiler I'm going to give you because I have been talking to another cast member. I'm not going to say who. And it sounds like it may go that route. I don't know for sure, but it sounds like it could go that route. Positive meaning, of course. Oh wait, I think I know this one. You probably do, Luna. It's redacted. You know exactly which redacted I'm talking about. Let's just say we were talking for a bit. But yeah, so the character development that's gonna come from Rain from this is gonna be very interesting in my opinion. I'm very excited to record episode 4 because there's definitely going to be a massive shift in how Rain reacts to situations in specific. So it's definitely, they came to me and we had a long convo about maybe our characters will end up getting shipped or maybe your characters will get shipped, etc. It's also queer coded. It is, this whole SMP, dude. It's kind of funny, honestly. It's kind of funny. So yeah, it's yeah. This part, I dreaded editing this part of the episode. To be completely honest with you guys, I dreaded it because I'm not even kidding. When I watched the final version with the flashbacks, queer creators put their experience into their characters. Crazy. I also just want to say that Kiro is definitely like passed out randomly in the middle of the forest, by the way, in the most tragic and alone death ever. Oh, Kiro, you don't gotta rub it in their faces like that. Oh my gosh. Damn, Kira. But yeah, this is gonna make some very interesting lore for Rain for sure. But yeah, all these flashback shots actually were recorded with Zaid. So that's why the skin looks a little wonky, because Zaid forgot to change it.
I don't know what's happening to me, Rain. The way,
like, you'll notice in certain shots those black lines because Zaid put it on the wrong skin base. And you can tell because the skin is white and the necklaces are on. Yeah. Zaid didn't change it till after we were done recording, and we both did not have the time nor the capacity to go back and re-record it. So that's what ended up happening. The slim skin on the wide model. Yeah. But man, the line, first of all, the crossed out "I love you" hurts. Kiro, that hurts. Second of all, that last paragraph, "You're just like the stars, so bright and pretty, and I never took the time to appreciate them." Ouch. I read this line at like 10:30 at night. I had been up for too many hours, and I was sitting there. Kiro got a voice note from me. Hold on, I bet I can pull it up. Kiro got a voice note from me about it. Let me find it. Here it is. Sir. Okay. Let me see. So I can. I literally have. This is on my phone, by the way, recorded wise. When I first read that through, I literally went, "Oh my!" Like, the peak out. Oh my god, that is heartbreaking, but I love it. It's perfect. Oh. Yeah, that was my voice note to Kiro after reading through that. I screeched. I quite literally screeched. I screeched. I was honestly channeling how much I love my IRL girlfriend, which arguably makes it worse. Ah, that does make it so much worse. Oh my gosh, Kiro. Kiro over here breaking hearts, including Rain's. Because, oh. So, funny thing. Originally when I was editing this, I was going to keep it simple and keep it purely on just the letter. But the thing is, right? The thing is, the timing with Kiro's reading versus me flipping through the pages of the letter did not sync up very well. Because all I had to go based off of, I wasn't playing the audio of Kiro reading because I had to cut down the audio a lot because there were a lot of pauses, retakes, all that stuff. And so I just had a timer. I timed it in my editing software of how long it was and then recorded that scene with Zaid. So it was very difficult to get the timing right, and that's why I ended up going with the flashbacks, which arguably makes it 10 times worse because you see the memories that they have together.
Stars.
So, you know. No.
What did it say?
No. When did Kiro leave?
And your time, I'd roughly estimate about a day ago?
No. I have to find her. I have... So anyway, I think this is the best thing I've ever been part of and made and written. Kiro with the one singular interaction and a letter. Heartbreaking. Ow!
Hold on.
So, okay, funny thing, right? I was gonna start the flashback earlier than that, but based off the origin, whenever I get hit, the first hit, I go invisible, so I couldn't really show that. I wasn't gonna give that away right away. Little background for you. Second of all, Zaid... Oh, the puppies are barking. Zaid smacking me with one of his magic missiles, that's how I'm gonna refer to his magic, was completely on accident. Zaid meant to teleport. Zaid meant to teleport. Oh, Arlo's unhappy. Oh, the baby. Chat, should I go rescue the babies? Should I go rescue the fur babies real quick so they don't cry? I think I should go rescue the fur babies real quick. Hold on, gamers. I'll be right back. Okay, so puppies are being rescued, just not by me. They're gonna keep crying. The reason they're going, why Arlo's crying so much, is because Mother Rains said walk to them, and I had to lock them away to get my nephew ready for the walk. So that's why they're crying. They're being taken on a walk. Don't worry. They're going on that walk. But yes. So that's why they're going a little bonkers right now. Oh, I can hear them going nuts. Holy. Okay. They're being forced to wait. Basically what's happening. Okay. Anywho. We're gonna wait a second. They're being forced to wait, indeed. Also, I want to say with the rain skins and the hair color changes, massive shout out to Worm Soup for getting all 5 stages. Yes, there are 5 stages done within a week for me. I love it. Appreciate Worm. Like genuinely greatly appreciated. So, yes. Ads incoming in 50 seconds, chop.
On. I'm not letting you run off on me again. What happened? What did that note say?
She was affected by the rift. Also, I was channeling so hard
That's
into Rain
impossible.
for this.
I didn't see any sort of traces. I would have known. I would have seen something.
She was affected by the rift, Azai.
Right. They left only about a day ago, right? They couldn't have gone far.
Stop following me.
And leave you off on your own again? I don't think so.
Stop following me, Azai.
You came to seek me out. We had an agreement that I'd be watching over you.
Also, I jump scared myself during this flashback scene. I remembered I punched Azai, but I didn't remember when. So when I transferred, the sound came through on flashback and scared the ever-living crap out of me. Genuinely, I jumped again. So there were 2 times in this episode, or 1 time in this episode and 1 time in episode 2 that I got jump scared at some point throughout the process. But yeah, so here Rain can only think about Kiro was affected, and Azai didn't know Kiro was affected, didn't see the signs, didn't see nothing. And so she's fully blaming Azai for Kiro's fate. She doesn't know if Kiro's already dead. She doesn't know where Kiro may have gone to go searching for her. She doesn't know, like, April, after stream ends, I've come up with some tragic shit for the future. Oh boy. Oh boy. But yeah, so Rain is genuinely, like, these past 2 episodes, she is in so much distress, and everything about her physically is changing, and now she's grieving the loss of her best friend, and all she can think about, and I'm gonna bring this into episode 4, I'll give you that. All she can think about is her last words were that Kiro is silent. And now Kiro's been silenced forever, basically. I'm gonna bring that in at some point in episode 4. I gotta figure out how I want to plan out episode 4, because I don't know what interactions are gonna look like or anything. But like, ouch. Ouch. So, you know. Okay, ad break is over, so we continue. Also, real quick, ironically, Zayd said he would have chased after Rain.
but due to how fast I was moving, he genuinely couldn't track where I was going, which is funny. It's all his fault. All his fault. She couldn't have gone far, right? I don't know. She was hurt. She was... It's not possible. I don't understand. Also, I cannot say why it gets so grainy right here. I don't know if it's because of server lag or if it's because of, like, anything else of that sort, but I apologize for the video quality just dipping. I saw that on YouTube too. I was like, oh, that's not great. I'm assuming it's just all the blocks and everything of that sorts. Yeah, bitrate. I don't understand why.
I move too
me?
fast for the
Because of
bitrate to
one
keep up with me now.
Stupid choice. One decision.
Oh, I exported it in
No.
HD.
My best
At least the
friend
file
may
didn't
be
corrupt.
gone.
Indeed. Zinni, welcome back.
Such a tragic end. Zinni, you just missed the very tragic end of episode 3 that we were talking about. Ay, ay, ay. But yeah, so chat, the way episode 4 is going to start for April. Yeah, all I'm gonna say, Luna is the first interaction you see in episode 4. There's VODs, that's okay. Yes, indeed, indeed, indeed. But yes, so episode 1 isn't super heavy. And then we get to episode before till the end, and the episode 2 gets very heavy. It's a very compelling interaction indeed. And then episode 3 is like hefty emotions wise. Like it is strong there. Yeah. 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 So, you know. Anywho, chat, would you like to vibe for a little bit and get our mind off of the fact that I have a very sad ending to my last episode until episode 4, because this is my last stream of the new year, which is insane. Absolutely insane. Genuinely. Like, Zunny! 7 stream streak, let's go. Let's go. I think things are about to get so heavy. I don't think from here on there's not going to be a non-heavy episode. Yeah. 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 Oh yeah, chat. I'm going to Disney next week, which is kind of insane to think about. Kind of insane. Is that all? Okay. Disney World, and thank you for the reminder for music. Well, that's not what I meant to do, but you know what? That is definitely not what I meant to do.
I don't know. I wish I could say how. I don't know. This is well, it's a full block, so I guess it makes sense. Chat, I don't know. I don't know, chat. Anyways. Don't ask me how that happened, I don't know. Who knows? I I wish I could say for sure what happened there, but I don't know. I don't know, chat. Oh my gosh. That's funny. How did I never realize there was a plane over here? Hi, Sally. Sally the engineer or something. Anyways, Disney World, good. I can't handle having any more streams in my state. Yep, we're going to Disney World. My parents got us tickets for their 30th anniversary, which is very, very exciting. Old? My parents are not old. Leave my parents alone. Mother and Father Rains are not that old. Yeah, ironically, right? This will be my first time going to Disney World in almost 14 years. I'm missing like all my shots. I can't speak. My mom is like 62. Oh my gosh. Yeah, my parents are younger than yours are, Luna. I can say that much. I did go to Disneyland back when I was like 16 or 17, I think. So it hasn't been as long since I've been there. But none of the, like, the Star Wars or anything wasn't open when I was, Find my toes, that is... Oh boy. I was born late in my mom's life. Yeah, this one's my little sister. But yeah, so... I'm excited. I'm very, very excited. And I get to be with my niece and my nephew. It's been almost 12 years for me. So similar. Niece, nephew, my older brother, my older sister, my sister-in-law, my brother-in-law. You know, I haven't seen my brother or sister-in-law in a couple years. I need you to know how much I'm loving Ruins SMP. I love how I'm able to tell a really cool story. Yay! I'm getting a lot better with my storytelling because of it. That's the whole point. Like, the thing about Ruins, right? Originally, I wanted it to be really lore heavy, but I decided against it because I realized a lot of the creators on the SMP were relatively new to like editing or storytelling or anything along those lines. And I was like, you know what? Is there something we can do that would allow people to flexibility and ability, all that, to create the stories they want without feeling pressured to. So that's kind of where we went with it. Ooh, oh boy. Oh, it's ice. Oh, we love this. I have not played this one, I don't think. Ooh. What does leg day mean? What does leg day mean? Leg's not here. Legs isn't here. What do you mean leg day? Oh, no. I screwed myself over. Well. 07. Yeah, it's fine. Gosh, I haven't been on the server in a while. I think it means run. It's fine. It's fine. But yeah, so Ruins, I'm personally really happy with where it's going right now. Oh. That's not what I meant to do. But you know. Woo. Oh, come on. Okay. Oh, I turned off my jump. I keep forgetting I have it on toggle now instead of... I didn't need to go to that one. I'm being a little stupid right now. It's okay. Oh, come on. Yeah. It definitely for a first time, like... For a first time, like, editing and storytelling project in Minecraft itself. I'm not even holding W. Why do you keep falling? I'm very happy with how it's going. Like, even though, again, a lot of people, hello, are not active on it. The people that are, like Luna, for reference, I'm very happy with how their stories are going. I'm happy with that they're happy. Yeah. Oh, wait. Because I can't reach that, so I have to go... Okay. How, what? Huh? But yeah. What am I hitting? That's... I'm like clipping something. Is my head? Oh, I see now. Okay. I've had one idea where I want like 10 creator VAs to be involved in creating their character in a very dark series where someone dies each episode. But like the main draw and the setting is very restricted and it's almost like a witch hunt where it's the characters causing the deaths. Interesting. Interesting, Luna. I'm curious what character or creators you would like you would get for something like that. I have no clue. Fair enough. Oh, come on. Ah! Almost. Think of it like a clue themed murder mystery. That's the kind of vibe. I get the vibe you're going for. I'm just curious, like, who you would go for to do such a project, you know? Okay. We're not gonna worry about the bonus pass right now. Oh. I hate Neos. This isn't even that bad of a Neo. I just hate Neos. Always have, probably always will. If I can find a way to cheat it, I will. That's like the vampires SMP, but without Yowie. I don't know, I'd have to see. I mean, I could reach out to some larger creators, but I'd also possibly ask like you because of your background in storytelling. I like Zaid, maybe. Yeah. I mean, I don't have like a massive background in storytelling per se. It's more, I've just done so much writing. I have a vision in mind. It's just executing that vision that comes with some difficulty for me. I'm overjumping that. Nope, okay. I'm not. Why did my run turn off? Nope. Nope. People who know could carry the weight of the roleplay. I don't know if I'd have it as a White Pine sort of vibe, where it's one series, or like Ruins Vampires, where each character makes a series until they go out. I mean... What? That aspect is really up to the creator of the SMP, honestly. Because, like, I have seen SMPs where people... I'm trying to think. Thought process. Hello. Make it into a series on their own channels, or like do it where everyone has their own point of view. Like, I guess it's it would honestly, I think it greatly depends on the way you want your storytelling of the SMP to go. Do you want every character to have their own story, or do you want the story to be collective? I guess that's the best way to like look at it. Because Ruins SMP, I want everyone to have their own opportunity to tell their character story. Well, there is a main storyline for to be told, there is still, every character is unique in their own way, you know? And every character was affected by the shattering, for instance, differently. And that's why I decided to have everyone do their own lore, because if I wanted to just tell the main storyline, I would have. And the main storyline in itself is interesting, but it's not what I wanted to be the main focus of the SMP in itself. Because I definitely want it to be super interconnected, but I want things to split off at a certain point. Well, for the idea with the fact that someone leaves the series every episode, the characters kind of need to be super tied into the main plot. See, and for something like that, I would say I would focus more on the main plot itself and not the character stories. You can have, like, every action has a reaction from every character, but it's... I'm gonna say this now, as you know, I'm not really an SMP creator. I don't have a lot of knowledge on it. I seem like I do, but I don't. Ooh, I way overjumped that. Hello. With the character leaving every episode, I mean, I have seen, like, what's a good... Pirates SMP, for instance. Pirates SMP, Gucky specifically, only had one episode or one stream of their character, and then their character basically died. So... And they still had their own character. This is less SMP, like it's not an actual thing to play on. It's some kind of like live series for 2 hours or so is put aside. I mean, that's kind of how Vampires SMP did it. They just had a specific amount of time to do a recording session. And then that was that, you know? Okay. So I keep hitting my head. Nope. Okay. I'm drawing inspiration a little bit from Etienne in a way. Chris. I have not seen that name in forever. Oh my gosh. I know exactly what you're talking about. Oh my gosh. Why am I so struggling with that jump suddenly? Hello. I know who you're talking about. It's just been a bit since I've seen the name. Low-key still know Joey as a vlogger. Yeah, that's kind of where I know Joey from still, basically. That was someone I watched a lot more when I was younger, for sure. Wasn't Joey... I could not say. Okay, so I think I'm jumping too late. I'm gonna have to jump earlier on that. Almost exclusively for Escape the Night. That's fair. I just, like... I am not... No, that's not what I want. I'm not having a great time with that medium. Holy. We're still in practice. Okay. Oh wait, I see what I'm supposed to do there. Man, this screen throws you off real bad. Hello? We're gonna ignore that chat.
You know, I've never been strong at parkour. It's fine. Oh, you cheeky little... But yeah, so I mean, like, when it comes to running an SMP, at least from my experience so far with Ruins, you gotta go based off what story you want to be told. Like, is it you want the main storyline of the SMP to be told, or is it you want characters to have their own... Why am I doing that to myself? No, thank you. Or is it you want every character to have their own depth? Because if you want every character to have your own depth, I would have... Or what you could do, you could have everyone record their own point of view. And then edit that, so the viewers get a taste of every character, and then you deviate into the main storyline. So you could show every character's thought process, but you keep it relevant. So you can, if a character does a certain action that you're like, that doesn't really balance well with the storyline itself, you can just cut that out and go with another point of view, or the main point of view, you know? Like, you just gotta take in consideration to the story you want to be told. Ruins SMP is definitely a lot more loose on the stories you can tell. So, oh, I hit my head. Hit my head again. But yes, SMPs, it's all about finding the balance of the story you want to be told while making sure everyone feels welcome, I guess is the best way to put it. Oh, I didn't take off my shift. I lost my momentum because I stopped. Don't you love just watching your streamer fall on the same thing multiple times? It's great. But yeah, I mean, gosh, the amount of difficulty I had with getting this story put together for Ruins SMP is even really that funny. Because like, vampires, for instance, it was 3 years in the making, almost 4, honestly. Like, I came up with the idea in the midst of, Outsiders SMP. Oh, you're joking. But yeah, so, I don't know. Ruins took a lot longer than I wanted to, and it has a completely different cast than what I was originally planning for, completely different character dynamics, you know, all of that. But also, it kind of was necessary because originally, in the original version of Ruins SMP, we technically had like
3 main characters. Like, genuinely, we had 3 main characters, which was my character, Ruins April, because at the time I was still pretty adamant about sticking with April for the name of my character. And then we had Nick and Ash were the other 2 still a part of it. And the story primarily revolved around those 3 and their dynamic together and everything. So it definitely had some changes that I had to go through. Or else it wouldn't have been for all creators. It would have just been like, all these creators are a side story to this main storyline, you know, and everything of that sorts. So, you know. Oh, I hit my head. I hit my shoulder. And I fell. I just walked off. Man, if I had kept up with doing parkour the way I originally was doing, I probably would be so much better at this. Like, I remember there were a couple streams where we did, like purely parkour, and I genuinely got pretty decent at it, and then I stopped doing it because I got focused on everything else. I'm so excited for April SMP after Ruins. I mean, I think April's SMP will be taking part of time away from Ruins. I don't remember the exact timeline, honestly, with Ruins and the exact time we wanted to end it. I'll have to look into it because I want to make sure everyone is able to tell the story that they want to tell. Before it ends, you know. Oh, come on, I unshifted. Why am I? Ay, ay, ay. Why am I struggling with that jump suddenly? I haven't struggled with that jump in a minute! Man. I'm hitting my head, that's why. I'm not centered. There we go. Well, there goes the time. Oh, that cough was weird. Hello. There goes the time I was originally aiming for. Man. I hit my head again. I think Ruins ends mid-April for 5 months. Yeah, it depends because Zayd and I commissioned a animatic for the end of the SMP. I don't want to rush Tiv on it, so it could vary based off that, or videos may just take a bit to get back for the ending. Because I'm thinking about it, Irain's story is probably only gonna take like maybe another 4 to 5 episodes to complete when I think about it. I think I don't know. We'll have to see on that part. Because I know your timeline, Luna. Whoop. Well, that's not a great start to this part. There we go. There we go. I saw something about Luna's story, but I don't know what it says because I'm like, woo, focused. Aww. Not the best time, but that's I have Luna's story done to the end except for the last episode, episode 8, which is the ending, maybe. Yeah, I gotcha, I gotcha. I gotcha. But yeah, so I don't know. Ruins may end sooner or earlier than I originally planned it to. It's really, really hard to say for sure. I might do an epilogue of how episode 1 is kind of like a prologue. Fair enough. The one thing I hate about streaming at this time, I never know who to raid. Who do we want to raid? Can you check Ko-Fi real quick? Or Coffee? Why do I say Ko-Fi? I'm gonna have to reset my Coffee because I have not clicked that since last time, and I may honestly deactivate it for a bit. I'm not entirely sure. I don't know. Twitch doesn't want to let me scroll my own chat. Wow. I'm offended, chat. I'm offended, Twitch. Man. Yeah, I don't know who to raid. Chat, do you have anyone you'd like to see me raid today? Cause I don't know. I don't see anyone I know live, nor anyone that like is catching my attention. Why is my ending screen not working? There we go. I don't know, chat. I don't know. But yeah, so that was the deep dive on the episodes for you guys today. Kind of talking through like the process and all. It wasn't like a true deep dive because I don't want to give everything away. Flow Tips is live. I think we rated them before. Have we? Flow Tips. I do see them. I don't know. Possibly?
I don't know, chat. We may just end the year off with no raid. I know I said I was gonna go over goals. I'm gonna post those later on because I haven't had a chance to actually sit down and make like a little slide or anything for it today. So I will definitely share those on social media when I do have those ready. It should be by the 1st. And yeah, I will see you when I get back from my trip, which will likely be on the, I think the 11th of January is when next stream will likely be. 12th of January. Man, that's so long, far away. That's like 2 weeks. Oh my gosh. But yes, you shall get updates from me in the Discord. The mods have full reign of the Discord while I am gone. Please just don't freeze it over or anything, I guess. Where's an— oh yeah, I will. Behave for the mods, chat. Don't burn down. Don't burn down the cottage, okay? Okay. Anywho, chat, have a lovely rest of your day or evening, whatever time it may be for you. And I will see you next time on the 12th of January. That is so far away. Oh my gosh. But yes, bye-bye.